And then, speaking of things that should never, ever be done again, the 6-man tag team match. And Brian,
Oh, thank God you watched this.
This was, well, I wasn't gonna, but I ended up being captivated by the introduction of it. And there you have it. And I've gone back and watched it. We may go back here and watch it again in a minute. Because it was, I will set it up for the people who may not have seen this. I never do this, but I'm going to endorse you. Get a tape, get a DVD, get a stream. If you've got it on your DVR, watch the AEW program. And this is, again, June 26th out of Buffalo. The BBC, Moxley and Claudio and Wheeler Useless against their opponents. Because this was the example of the biggest bunch of amateur hour bullshit that I have ever seen on a big budget television program. I've seen worse shit, but it's been in fucking rec centers and high school gyms and on videotape from cow pastures. But this was the biggest conglomeration of reasons why that they are a floundering fucking ship that I've ever seen. From booking to announcing to actual work in the ring, this was the epitome of dreck on all parts. Nothing about this was any good. It was humorous in its goddamn badness. And I don't know what they're looking at that some more than one person in this match was not reprimanded, if not taken off the booking sheets and their usefulness rethought. But I get just they have no standards in anything works here. This was embarrassing to watch if you were a halfway dedicated wrestling fan. What were your thoughts before we talk about this thing? Just in overall, in
you know, it was a.
What are they looking at?
It was a weird night because I was planning on watching Dynamite this morning because the Mets versus Yankees, which is a big game, the Subway Series was last night, and the Mets are playing great. There was a big rain delay. We had a big storm in this area, and I got to watch a lot of Dynamite because of the rain delay. I didn't see the first few moments of the walk to the ring, so I only saw Moxley and Claudio. It was a big surprise to me when Yuta jumped the rail, too. I was like, who's that little guy? And it was Yuta. And then we have had a version of La Facción Ignoborales or whatever the fuck it is on this show in the past, right? Like Preston Vance and all that. That was part of that, I think.
Yes.
This was
but
that.
they got a branch office opened up in Japan now.
Yeah, and I'll just say this. I was in the middle of watching this match, and it was Wheeler Yuta in the ring specifically, working with the other guys. And I said to myself, I'm going to email Jim that he can't skip this match. He needs to watch it. Like, this match deserves a breakdown. And the gods were listening. Independent of me doing that, you had the same realization.
Well, what drew me to it was because again, with the crew had just left and the TV was on and it was recording, I was going to do the same thing, which I did watch it in its entirety this morning. But I heard, as we were trying to get something to eat, Sockface bringing the opposing team of the BBC to the ring with a rundown of who they are and everything they've ever done, and a court stenographer couldn't have kept up with it, and nobody not only could pronounce, but gives a shit to try to pronounce any of the fucking words that came out of his fucking sock. The Los Fuckers and Goobers of Japan branch division of Los Fuckers and Goobers of Mexico. I couldn't understand their fucking Shingo Takagi. His name was on the screen. So I got that when Smiley Roberts introduced him. I couldn't tell what the other two fucking names were. I couldn't tell it apart from all the other words that I've never heard before. When Sockface said it, and I'm looking at two Japanese guys that look like henchmen in a Raymond Chow production and a masked guy that's coming to the ring holding another mask in his hand that doesn't look like he's 5 feet tall. 3 more inches, he's a mini. And and this is a match that's going to go 15 fucking minutes. And remember, I've said before that whenever anybody either wrestles against or even teams with Mox, whenever Moxley is in a match, even talent looks worse. I think that they just forget how to work. It falls apart. I think this is the worst example of that I've ever seen. I was
And it had length. At least they gave it length to really flesh out. Because I had that moment, the epiphany early in the match, like I have to see where this is going to go. And then everyone's work, even Claudio, I know you like the European uppercuts, but.
No, that's the thing. Even Claudio, who in the past I have seen, witnessed with my own eyes, have wonderful matches. This was the fakest looking, most embarrassing bullshit from everybody that I've ever seen. That's why I'm saying it's catching. When Moxley's involved, everybody sucks. I don't know how otherwise to explain it.
I completely agree.